gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the one and only Charlie Brown. And once again, it's time to go around the town with Charlie Brown. Today, I want to hit the review, and the review that I'm about to hit and throw right at you guys is a review for wrestling. And as you guys know, I'm a huge wrestling fan. I was into wrestling myself, and I was one of the world's greatest wrestling managers, if you ask me. I'm the only person that matters when it comes to asking that question. Yes, that is true. Anywho, we're about to talk about WWE Present Backlash 2023 from Puerto Rico. Now, when I first heard about them doing Backlash in Puerto Rico, I was like, oh, let's see how this show's gonna go. When the show opened up, the way they set up the show, when it opened up, they did like a drone shot, so the camera came in from the like outside from the clouds, and then flew in, showed you the city and stuff, and flew into the stadium. Went down the steps of the stadium, then showed you everything else going on in the stadium. Then they had the words Backlash showing on the screen for those that were watching at home. The crowd was really into it. The crowd was amazing. As a matter of fact, I got a little emotional watching it because the crowd was so into it. But we jumped right into our first match, and the first match that we jumped into was the match for the women's Raw Championship, which was Bianca Bellaire, the champion, versus Io Sky of Damage Control. The match itself was really good, really well. Io Sky actually came out with her music that she had when she turned heel, turned into a bad guy per se, when she was in NXT. They used that music because she came out by herself. Damage Control was left in the back. Immediately, Io Sky went to work. She did an amazing job, and Beyonce always does an amazing job every time she's in the ring. Io has an amazing background with what she knows and her skills in wrestling. As a matter of fact, when they first started off, they were pretty much running some really cool wrestling drills, something that they would go through in practice, but they made it a little bit more flashy. They were trying to one-up each other, trying to get each other, get the feel for each other and stuff, what was going on in the ring. Then out of nowhere, Io decided to attack Bianca's arm, take out her arm, take away her strength, her power. If you ask me, the match itself, it ended up ending with Bianca Bellaire winning when Damage Control came out to help Io Sky, which is really odd because Io Sky was already doing well. If you ask me, if it wasn't for them interfering, Io probably would have won the match. She had the match in the bag. If you go back and watch the match, I think it was a way of trying to keep both of them to look strong, but really no matter who went over, they both are amazing women. They both are amazing wrestlers. So it really didn't matter how they really ended that match, but I enjoyed it, and I would give that 2 thumbs up if you were to ask me, but I don't think you were asking me anyway, but you came here to watch the review. So let's jump into the second match. But before we get to the second match, let's talk about the fact that Savio Vega presented Bad Bunny with a special kendo stick before their match. Now, that's coming up later on. So if you guys didn't know, Bad Bunny, yeah, that's right, the recording artist Bad Bunny, who actually wrestled several times before. And I really love Bad Bunny in that ring. He tells an amazing story. He knows what he's doing, and he's picking it up really fast too. And he actually respects the business. So, magnifique. So after that happened, you jump into the second match, which was Seth Rollins versus Omos. Now, out of all the matches, I would say that this match was my least favorite throughout the whole show. I don't really know what really led to this. I wasn't watching Raw, and because I kind of got mad at what was going on with everything between the draft and stuff like that, and stuff that was going on with them doing the consolation prize for their championship. Yeah, if you ask me, the championship they're going to have on Raw is the consolation prize. It's the I Can't Beat Roman Reigns title. Anyway, so I didn't really watch Raw to catch up to or to get the backstory to what was going on here. But it's Seth freaking Rollins. And the best thing about the match, if you ask me, I'm sorry, is the fact that the music cuts and everybody just kept singing his music. I told you the crowd was really into this. They were really into them being there in Puerto Rico. And they were chanting, they were doing what's going on with Seth Rollins' song. So his song has a little thing in it where it goes, oh, oh, oh. Anyway, if you guys are watching me for the first time and you don't know what happened and you don't know nothing about Seth Rollins, please, for the love of God, check out Seth Rollins. The man's amazing across the board. His character work especially as well too. But I almost did a good job. You know, he's the big man. He was the monster going around trying to squash the little guys. Pretty much how it all broke down. Seth Rollins ended up going for his move, which is the stump or the curb stump, however you want to call it. I think they stopped calling it the curb stump, but I'm just going to call it the stump. So he went for a stump, couldn't get it on him, on the almost. Then he ended up going for a stump the second time, got it, knocked out MVP who was trying to get into the ring, and then he went back and did another stump. Then, when he went for the pin, almost kicked out. He then got back up, was like, okay, I got to come up with a bigger plan. What did Seth Rollins do? He decided to do a super stump. He went to the top rope, jumped off, boom, stumped him into the mat. 1, 2, 3 into that match. Again, it's not really much else to really talk about in that match. Almost pretty much dominated, made him look strong. Seth Rollins did his thing. You know, Seth Rollins' back should be hurting from carrying this company. Anyway, jumping into the third match, which is the Triple Threat United States Championship match, which was Bronson Reed versus Bobby Lashley and the champion Austin Theory. Now, my thing with this is that the feud and everything that's going on, like the title's there, but it's like the title is just there, you know? It's like no one really cares about the United States Championship right now. Now that it's on Austin Theory. I feel bad saying this because Austin Theory, when he was in NXT, I know he can do an amazing job. When he was down there, and I loved him down there. You know, the character work and everything. He was doing the wrestling thing. He was doing everything. You know, he was with Johnny Wrestling. And then they brought him up to the main roster, and he's on his own now. And I don't know. It's just like sometimes, I don't know if he's like kind of lost in the shuffle of things where it's like, he's a champion, but I really don't care. I don't care about the title. I don't care about like what they're doing with him. I know he has great potential, and I know he's a great wrestler. I mean, he's really good at what he does, but I don't really care. That's the best way of putting it. At one point, Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley pretty much were like going at each other, and then Austin Theory just kind of got like caught up in a whirlwind. That's kind of what it seemed to be like with him, with Austin Theory. Everybody else is doing stuff, and then Austin Theory just kind of like just falls into other people's stories. And then he went against not Triple H. I'm sorry. He went against John Cena at WrestleMania. And when he went against John Cena at WrestleMania, it was the most boring match like on the whole show, and I really didn't care. Like I didn't care if John lost. I didn't care if John won. It was just like he was just there. All in all, Austin Theory ended up winning. It's a triple threat match. He got the win because Bronson Reed went for a move on Theory, and then Theory ended up hitting Bronson. Then after Bronson tried to do a moonsault, he missed, totally missed. When he got up, he was holding his stomach. He got speared by Bobby Lashley. Austin Theory threw Bobby Lashley out of the ring, got the pin on Bronson, and ran out with the title. That's pretty much it. Which jumps you into the next match, which was the women's championship match, was the SmackDown Championship women's match, which is Rhea Ripley and Zelina Vega. Now, when I was talking about getting emotional, Zelina Vega came up. Before I get to that, Rhea Ripley is just amazing across the board. Is she not? I mean, is she not? She's okay. I might as well just get this out of the way. I'm thirsty for Rhea Ripley. If she was a glass of water on my table, I'm drinking it. Okay, I'm drinking it. Okay, tall glass of water, just. Anyway, so she came out, and her music is probably some of the best music that's out there right now in WWE. I love her song. This is my brutality. No demons leave. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into the song, but it's amazing. If you guys haven't heard it, check it out. And I use the word amazing because it deserves to be put there. Amazing. Anyway, Zelina Vega, when she came out, she so happens to be Puerto Rican descent. When she came out to the ring, she had like a robe on, like a hoodie on, right? And then she like opened it up, and when she like opened up her arms, it was the flag, really cool. But when she got in the ring, the crowd went bananas for her. The crowd loved her so much and showed her that love. You could see the emotion on her face. I started tearing up when I saw her face. I was like, oh, y'all not gonna do this. You're not gonna make me cry. Y'all know me. You're not gonna make me cry. But I cried. Anyway, so they went through a match, had a really good match. And one thing I gotta point out is when Selena does her DDT on Rhea and the way that Rhea takes the DDT, it's like shades of The Rock all over again, taking a stunner from Stone Cold Steve Austin. Needless to say, Rhea Ripley ended up getting the victory, a clean victory to be exact. But afterwards, Rhea gathered her title, she took off, and the crowd gave Selena a standing ovation, and they chanted for her, and it was so cool, and it was so nice to see that. I mean, a lot of these wrestlers put in a lot of work, hard work and stuff like that to experience a dream and to get to that stage to be able, but their dream is to entertain us, to make us see things amazing that they can do in their ring, and their athleticism and their dedication to being able to do this, and the crowd appreciated it, and they showed it to her, to putting on an amazing job, and she doing a great job that she did. Let me go on to the next thing before I start crying. After that, you ended up getting the San Jose street fight, which was between Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, which I told you guys I was going to come back and talk about that again. Earlier in the show, Bad Bunny ended up getting a special kendo stick from Savio Vega. And in the middle of the match, the two of them, Damian Priest is, Damian Priest. The two of them did a really good job. Damian Priest was mainly being cocky throughout the whole match, and you can pretty much tell that was going to be his downfall. If you really wanted to be exact and want me to say exactly how I feel about this, I'm gonna say what's the word that they always use? They always say book. I'm just gonna say it was like all over the place. Literally, they went all over the place. They went out of the ring, got back into the ring and stuff like that. But the whole match pretty much stood on Damian Priest being cocky and toying around with him. As a matter of fact, he hit his finisher on him. Could have pinned him, but he let Bad Bunny up, which kind of led to his downfall. He took Bad Bunny out of the ring through the crowd, threw Bad Bunny down. He gave him a Falcon Arrow through a table outside the ring. They came back into the ring, but when he came back in the ring, Damian Priest ended up hurting his leg, and then Bad Bunny ended up attacking Damian Priest's leg. Damian Priest's crew came out. When they came out, they got in the ring, but then they didn't know that Rey Mysterio was going to come out. So Rey Mysterio comes out, who so happens to be a part of the Latin World Order, which is LWO. Again, if you guys not really following the show and following what's going on in wrestling right now, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. You're going to be like, LWO, wasn't that back in the day with NWO and WCW? Yes. Just hold on. Just come on for the ride. So Rey Mysterio comes out, and then Rey Mysterio helps out and everything else. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Carlito Cool. I spit in the face of those who don't want to be cool. He comes out. He's wrecking house. Then he spits in the face of Dominic Mysterio, which is something to be Rey Mysterio's son. Yes, Rey Mysterio's son is wrestling. Again, if you're not paying attention to what's going on in wrestling, you're not going. You just gonna be like, what the heck is going on now? So yeah, little Rey Mysterio got a son. Son is a dope, full blown dope. Okay. Anyway, I'm not trying to explain all that to you. Just come with me. Okay. So after that, they try to run out, and then who decides to come out? Savio Vega comes out, and then Savio Vega brings out who with him? The rest of the LWO. They beat up Priest's boys. They beat up Dominic Mysterio, and then they beat up Finn Balor. They take them out. Okay, then Bad Bunny ends up getting the pin, And after he gets the pin, they're celebrating the ring, and the crowd is going crazy, nuts, bananas. The whole LWO comes back out. Carlito Cool, who I am so happy to see back in the ring, he gets back in there. Then Savio Vega comes out too. Those two guys are instant legends. The minute that they first stepped foot in WWE, you knew they were destined for great things. And instant legends. Instant, okay? After that, we jumped into, which is kind of odd because that was called the first of the double main event. So that was one main event, then you had another main event at the end of the day. So before we get to the actual main event, the second main event, let's talk about Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Matt Riddle versus the Bloodline. Now, here's the thing. I totally forgot that Matt Riddle was a thing. I totally forgot about him. I remember like everything that was going on with Matt Riddle when he was with like Randy Orton, Randy. And I was totally down for that. I was totally there for that. Matt Riddle is a great talent. But I tend to forget that he kind of exists a lot. It's weird. I don't know how to really explain it. But all in all, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, they went out there and they put on a great match. It was with this whole story that's going on with the Bloodline. It's the younger brother of the Bloodline, of the Usos, which is Solo Sikoa. Is he going to attack his brothers and stuff like that? Since he's the right hand man of the the new right hand man of Roman Reigns. All in all, Solo Sikoa ended up getting the victory at the end of the match, but it was a little tension going on between the brothers, which was Jay and the older brother Jay, because the Usos are twins. So Jay and Solo Sikoa, they ended up getting into it. Man, you know what? It's weird trying to explain wrestling to people who don't really watch wrestling or like casual wrestling fans, because they'll just be like, what the heck is going on? It's kind of like trying to explain anime to people. Because you guys watch anime. You ever go in the middle of watching like Naruto, like in the middle, and then you're just like, why is this dude Rock Lee getting beat up by this dude that can control sand? And how come Rock Lee doesn't have any powers like the rest of the people do? He doesn't have any of these ninjutsus. Well, how come he doesn't? Wait a minute, is he still alive? What is going on right now? This is crazy. Did he just take off a belt and throw a bunch of gold pieces down on the floor? He had weights on the whole time. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's just jump right into the main event. The main event was the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, going against Brock Lesnar. It was a match. This is all pretty much storytelling about Cody Rhodes attacking Brock before the bell, so he can try to get the upper hand. He gets the upper hand, but then Brock Lesnar comes back. Brock Lesnar goes to Suplex City. Brock Lesnar tries to put him in the Kimura. He can't. When he puts him in the Kimura, the American Nightmare, Cody, he pushes forward, gets the pin, 1, 2, 3. It's all pretty much story in there. It's a Brock Lesnar match. That's the best way of putting it. And it's just pretty much the story of what's going on with Cody. He has this big mountain he needs to climb in Brock Lesnar, and he has to defeat Brock Lesnar. He defeats Brock Lesnar. As soon as he defeats Brock Lesnar, he gets to 1, 2, 3. He doesn't even celebrate. He gets the hell out of that ring. He gets up that damn ramp, and he goes back to the locker room. Like, no, I'm not Boo-Boo the Fool. When Brock Lesnar gets upset, when he loses, he destroys everything, and he's not destroying me. So basically, he's like, I'm telling this story, and the story is, I need to overcome this mountain. I climbed to the other side of this mountain. Whoop-de-whoop, I'm out. All in all, if I had to say and recommend Backlash for you guys, it's a very, very good watch. Mainly for the main highlights, I would say, is the make sure that you guys watch the Selena Vega match with Rhea Ripley, just for the emotional roller coaster to take you on. Okay, I'm good. And the Bad Bunny match. It's a very fun match. It's a fun match to watch. Again, you just naming all people that just pops up in that match. But it was a fun match to watch, and I will recommend that. But They put on a great show for you. Very talented. Every single last one, everybody they got in that ring, they're all talented, and they deserve you guys to watch them. They deserve you guys that really enjoy wrestling to be able to experience what they put on for you, this show they put on for you guys. So if I had to do a review on it and I had to give it, one of my reviews, pass, fail, put it right smack dab in the middle. It's right above right smack dab in the middle, but it is a passing grade, and it is worth watching it, especially if you guys have Peacock. So please check it out. Let these talented wrestlers know that you guys are watching them because they're great and they're talented. If you can pick up what I'm putting down, around the town, Charlie Brown. Backlash 2023. Out.